So it is a very, very dreary end to October this year. We are getting rain. It's been about 2 days worth, and the rain has finally stopped for today, so we're going to try and get some things done. There's a lot of things in the garden that I could probably preserve and do something with. If nothing else, I can use it for the rabbits and give them some treats throughout the winter. But right now we're looking at marigolds, mint, we've got some borage, we've got some comfrey, and perhaps some flowers that we can actually tie up and kind of dry and set aside for the rabbits. So that's the plan for today. We've got the strawberry plants that need to go under some sort of cover. Probably just going to put it under a frost cover, because not so much that they can't handle any kind of frost, but more so because the deer will eat them as they did last year. So a lot of the garden has already been taken care of. I've cut things back, and we have cleaned up and weeded for the most part and kind of got it tidy looking. But now there's just a few things that we need to kind of take care of so that we don't lose them to the frost. We're supposed to get a good frost on tomorrow night. It's supposed to get down to 25 degrees, so that would wipe everything out and make it inedible for rabbits. So we're going to try and get that stuff tied up to dry today and make it useful throughout the winter. So just to give you a little bit of the before and explain what's going on, here's all of the marigolds. This is not calendula. It has a very peculiar scent when I take it into the rabbits. It's not a pleasant fragrance, but the rabbits sure do seem to love it. So I had it actually all the way down the fence line, and the purpose for that, aside from the fact that it's just nice to look at, is it is a very good deer deterrent. So we do have deer in the area, and I wanted to make sure that the garden would be protected. we're going to go ahead and start cutting this marigold, get that in. We got our little friend here. She's going to be checking things out with us. So we just want to get in here and cut it all back with some pruners. And then we will end up tying that up. Marigold, for some reason, seems to get very weak, as I guess everything does at the end of the season. But it always looks like an animal has come out here and just ran through it or laid in it. But at the same time, when you're doing this, you realize just how weak the plant has become. And I truly think it's just the weight of the plant knocking it over. Because, like I said, this has got such a peculiar scent. I can't imagine anything even wants to be in it. I do love that it grows right through the fence, because basically you're getting a visual from both sides. And this was just from seed. It's pretty easy to grow. And if you let it wait and it drops seed, it drops a ton of it. I had a couple of plants drop seed last year, or actually the year before last, and I am still working from that seed. All right, that didn't take long at all. We've actually got the marigold ready to go. We're going to take it on up to the bunny barn where we can sort it and tie it up and get it ready to sit out to dry. We'll have to come back for the flowers. So we are in the bunny barn, and you can see this is the marigold that I cut yesterday, and I've just got it hanging on a rack, normally used for clothes drying, but it's an old rack, so I've kind of repurposed it for drying out my garlic, and then I'm using it for this. So each of these is tied up with twine, and it's just kind of laying over and kind of interwoven, so it's taking up as little space as possible, but yet getting some airflow through it. And then it is setting inside of the building and getting a breeze constant through the day. So we're gonna get started and start bundling these marigolds and then adding them to the hanger. that job is done. This will give the rabbits some treats for several weeks. So hopefully we won't have any issues with the drying process. I am going to turn the fan on today just because it's been so wet out and it rained on it this morning. So what I had in here yesterday is already starting to dry and it looks pretty good. So we've got that job done. We're going to move on to getting the strawberries covered up. It has started raining again, so we'll give it a little bit of time and see if that'll stop shortly. It appears that the rain is not going to be letting up anytime soon, so we're going to go ahead and get this little job done. It'll just take about a minute. This is the strawberry bed. It's an 8x3 raised bed, and I've got ever-bearing strawberries in here. So you can see, even though it is the end of October, because we've had such sunny and warm days, it is still trying to put on strawberries. So we are expecting the frost tomorrow night, 25 degrees, so that'll really knock all of this back quite a bit, potentially even burn the leaves or kill them. So I'm going to give them cover up with some frost cover. But the real reason I am coming out here to cover this up today is because I get busy and I forget about it, and the next thing I know, the deer have eaten them down. So I have removed a layer of deer protection when I took out the marigolds, and they will be getting hungry here as we get into the colder winter months. Last year, they actually took my strawberry bed out by about half. So that is why this part of the bed is pretty empty, as you can see. However, the far side of the bed, I've got quite a bit of it covered with straw heavily. So there are plants under there, but this bed was really knocked back about half of its strawberries. I put borage in this year because borage and strawberries are companion plants and they are supposed to do really well together. I'm going to leave the borage in for now in hopes that the frost cover will be enough and I can continue to feed the rabbits some fresh leaves through the month of November. Otherwise, I'll be taking this all out whenever it dies back and leaving the strawberry plants, obviously. So there's some good runners in here. You can see, like right here, the plants are really trying to run, and that is a good thing. So I was able to get several new plants from the runners this year. So hopefully by next year, this bed will be once again full, as long as the deer leave it alone and there's no other issues. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get it's not going to let up today. Got to get it done. The frost is coming. Just while we're out here, just a real quick, here's another raised bed. I love it. I've got a volunteer lettuce growing there. And I've also got some volunteer green beans. I'm not really doing anything with that. They just happen to pop up, so we're not going to worry about it. This was a tomato bed late in the summer. Had a lot of drops in there. Didn't get around to picking all that up. Got some sweet potatoes there. This is just one that needs to be cleaned out still. All right, let me get backed up here so you can see what's going on. So here we have a longer bed. It's 8 by 16. And the way that it was constructed, it allowed for these 8 by 3 greenhouse structures to be placed inside of them. So right now we have got carrots starting. And this is really just kind of a neat way to protect your vegetables or whatever you're growing in from the frost. But you can see here we've got carrots starting. I'll get down close and kind of show you. We've also got some other things starting right here. Those little ones that look like hairs or stringy, those are actually carrots. So these will do well in here with the greenhouse cover. And they should be ready about January 1. So we look to have carrots on January 1 that we can put up and preserve and can and enjoy. And the other end of the bed has just been cleaned and mulched, and we probably will just let this one go until the spring. Nothing going in here, nothing going on with that. So one last job to do, which is to get the flowers. We'll walk over there, take a look. Got a little more comfrey down there. He's still doing well. I hadn't thought about getting it in. Here's some lemon balm that I could potentially take in. And again, that's just with the intentions of having a little something for the rabbits. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get these in and probably just be done for today. Have a good one and see you next time. Here is one little fella that will appreciate these efforts today. This is Steve. He is a Harlequin and California mix, and he's been a family pet now for a couple of years. But I like to treat him with the garden goodies at least once or twice a week. So he's being a little camera shy right now.